I know we had to do a remix, right?
I'm sorry, and the Boy Scout is on here too. I forgot. I just saw the camera. If I just remembered the Boy Scout, who's down with Busta Rhymes in Flip Mode. He's another MC too. The Boy Scout. Can't remember. It's something the Boy Scout. Just can't remember right now.
Niggas is mad, I get more butt than ashtrays. Fuck a fair one, I get mine the fast way. Ski mask way, and nigga ransom notes. Far from handsome, but damn a nigga told.
Shot.
More guns than roses, foes is shaking in their boots. A visible bully, like the gooch, disappear, vamoose, you whack to me. Take them rhymes back to the factory. I see the gimmicks, the whack lyrics, the shit is depressing, pathetic. Please forget it. You're mad cause my style you're admiring. Don't be mad, UPS is hiring. You should have been a cop, hip-hop. With that freestyle, you're bound to get shot.
What?
Not from Houston, but I rap a lot. Pack the gap a lot, the flame's about to drop.
Here comes a brand new flavor.
DOS Effects.
Time for new
A couple of cameos in here.
I'm just kicking new flavor in your ear, like a brand new flavor in your ear. Here comes a brand new flavor in your ear.
Mad Lion, reggae artist / MC.
Word up, no rap, no crap, you bore me. One to grab my body, too lazy, hold it for me. I'm straight rap great, bust the head straight and dreads, I'm everlasting. Like it's so on pro cash, a tech 9, when I rhyme, plus I climb, word is bond. Your album couldn't with one line. It's been 3 years.
Just gotta say, like I said, that's DOS Effects, who if I remember, I did EPMD and then I broke it down how DOS Effects was stayed with Parrish once they broke up, but they was also part of EPMD crew when they was together. DOS Effects, Straight Out the Sewer, and I'll be doing them too. They're also a part of this 95, 94, 95 resurgence to the East Coast. They wanted an artist who also brought, you know, that raw hip hop back in the 90s when the West Coast took off. You know, there's a few of them out there. You know, of course, Nas, you know, who's still holding it down. Then you had Wu-Tang, you had of course Biggie. You know, a few artists was holding it down. You know, that mid 90s had a lot of artists out of there that was real creative and had their styles. You had MOP, you know. I think MOP was the first. MOP reaction was the very first reaction I think I did on my show. But 95, people started bringing back that raw hip hop. You know, I shouldn't say bringing back that raw hip hop. I think they just came out and be like, yo, we gonna hold it down. It was just a barrage of mid 90s New York hits, yo. We was just dying for some hits, and they bombarded us with it. You know what I'm saying?
Since your last tear, but now I reappear, your heart pumps fear to your gut. Did your girl's butt? I scraped it, shaped it, now she won't strut. I smashed teeth off your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith. You won't be around next year, my rap's too severe, can't get bad flavor.
Also got stopped. I rewind it again. I stopped it. Remember I told you I said earlier in the first video, the style was the leather jackets and then the Kango hats, you know, and the big oversized jerseys, you know what I'm saying, hockey jerseys and stuff like that, and the Timbs, you know, there it goes right there, you know what I'm saying? That was the style back then and there, you know. That was that ghetto fly shit. You like, I'm just gonna throw my leather on and my hat and my Timbs on and some baggy ass jeans, and you was good. Wife beater, you was good, son. Let me wind this a little bit, you know, because I talked through twice. Hit him, Craig.
Scraped it, shaped it, now she won't strut. I smashed teeth off your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith. You won't be around next year, my rap's too severe, can't get bad flavor in your ear. Here comes a brand new flavor in your ear. Time for new flavor in your ear. I'm kicking new flavor in your ear, like a brand new flavor in your ear. Here comes a brand new flavor in your ear. Time for new flavor in your ear.
2194, mad motherfucking hardcore. It's my time to burn, to explore. The flavor in your ear is the Boy Scout. I make outs, I make all the rappers have doubts. Right. You're fucking with the wrong clan and the wrong man, that's it. Now you got to get your dome split. I'm going into my knapsack with my gat. Take off my hat, yes, I'm just cool like that. The dangerous, the ruggedness from
a lot of cameos in here.
BLS 97 kiss bastard. I'm gonna live long in this rap game, singing for my name, yo, Puffy.
Burn 'em in the flame, you're jingling, baby. You're jingling, baby.
Here's shit. Blotitious. Skeevy, delicious. Give me goose.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop it real quick. The female that you see sitting in the middle, can't remember her name, but she's a part of a female group that was on Bad Boy called Total. There was 3 females, 3 singers, and they did a whole lot of songs of Bad Boy that was hits around that time, and her in the middle, she's also married to Omar Epps. That's his wife. They got married a few years ago. They've been dating for a while, and they got married some time ago. So that's his wife. You know what I'm saying? They're keeping it in the entertainment business right there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna rewind a little bit. And she was, like I said, she was part of a group called Total, R&B group, 3-girl female group called Total. Let's get it.
You're jingling, baby. You're jingling, baby.
Shit. Blotitious. Skeevy, delicious.
LL.
Love me good.
Love the jacket, yo. Had to have one.
Is he good? I guess like the jeans. Flavor like praline. Sick daddy, I mean. Papa love it when he does it.
Oh, she working it, yo.
Buzz it. But tell me, was it really just the flavor that be clogging your ears?
Working that, son.
The most healthy behavior is to stay in the clear. It's all for you. It's really all for you. Hunch back, close your eyes, try to munch that. Oil up your ankles, let your Timbs tap. Bite the flavor, it reacts to your gold caps. Word to mama, I tongue kiss a piranha. Electrocuted barracuda, I'm here to bring the drama.
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes about to bring the noise on these. Let me loose from the belly of the beast. Everybody, hey, hey, hey. You better believe it's Busta Rhymes the way we about to rip the tri-state, yo. Hey, hey, hey. I split your face and give you stitches. Throw niggas and bitches, slap the ass on fat.
Witches.
Wait 1 second. As I get down, I'm rolling with
Another
the
shot.
heavyweight connect through the stomping ground now. Don't you get suspicious. Grant your wishes every time. Bring it vicious when I bust around. I know one thing the whole world is expecting is how we all connected. To break fool on the same record. 5 new flavors on the beat. Filthy up the heat. I really think you should be cheap while we blow up the street. Instead of copping, please just freeze. Maintain the focus while we smoke these our trees. When I get down, I disappear. Reappear and blow up everywhere. These flavors in your ear.
Here comes a brand new flavor in your ear. Time for new flavor in your ear. I'm kicking new flavor in your ear. Like a brand new flavor in your ear. Here comes a brand new flavor in your ear. Time for new flavor in your ear. I'm kicking new flavor in your ear. Like a brand new flavor in your ear.
Cameos, yo. Cameos are hard in this. Have some Woo in there, Mike Geronimo. Craig Mack, Flava in the Air. Yo, the remix is better than the first one, though, man. The video, too. The video, too, is hot. I love that video, man. They should play it a whole lot. Yo, that was Flava in Your Air remix of the first album, Funk the World. Craig Mack off of Bad Boy. Like I said, the first release off of there. It's funny, today I watched Drink Champs when Jermaine Dupri was on there. And the reason I watched it, because I wanted to hear the story again before I talk about it on the show. It's regarding Puffy's bodyguard shooting Suge Knight's boy when they was in Atlanta at Jermaine Dupri's after party on his birthday. You know what I mean? And I read about it a little bit, but I wanted to hear it out of his voice. I remember he talked about it on Drink Champs like about 5 years ago. So I pulled that up and I listened to it. And, he said that they were at a party and Suge Knight and Puffy was outside in the street arguing. Yelling at each other, arguing. I gotta take another shot for this one because it bugged me out, yo. It bugged me out. It really bugged me out because I'm gonna tell you why it bugs me out after I finish on the story, but I need another shot for this. Jermaine Dupri says Suge Knight and Puffy was arguing out in the street in Atlanta outside the club, and they arguing. Puff it's just him and his man. Can't remember his name. Wait, actually, I did. I wrote it down so I would remember. Let me find that paper. Jack Robles. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Jack Robles was like he worked for Suge Knight. He was his man, part of Death Row. I'm not sure what he did there, but it was like on a regular scale, like a I don't know if he was an A&R or something, but he was like a marketing, probably marketing something like that. His boy. Anyway, he was with him, and it was getting heated, and Jermaine said he only remembers his Puffy's drinking the champagne, and then he heard shots go off, boom, and this man just shot Suge's boy right down and killed him in the street. That's crazy. It got to that point where he just shot him in the street. You know what I'm saying? And this is Puffy's bodyguard, so it probably was getting heated to the point where like they was gonna put hands on Puffy, because you know how Suge Knight get down. Niggas was afraid. Motherfuckers was afraid of Suge Knight. Motherfuckers was afraid of Suge Knight. You know, everyone admits it. You know, ain't nothing to be you feel like you a bitch, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Suge Knight's a hard nigga to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a hard nigga to fuck with hard niggas. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You can't cut a diamond with plastic. You know what I'm saying? You know, you cut a diamond with another diamond. You know what I'm saying? That's the hardest. That's like one of the hardest. What do you call it? Jewels or whatever you call it, stones in the world, a diamond. So you can only cut a diamond with a diamond. It's hard. You can't cut it with glass or plastic. It's just gonna break. You know what I'm saying? That's reality. And I guess the bodyguard felt like it was my job to hold down Puffy, and Puffy gonna get hurt. So he shot that nigga. I'm paraphrasing, but it just makes sense in my head. It just that scenario makes sense in my head the way he described it and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. And he said that from then on, that solidified the beef between Death Row and Bad Boys. Not the East Coast, West Coast. Had nothing to do with Big. Had nothing to do with Pac. This had to do with Puffy and Suge personally. And before that, he said that was when he was on Source Awards. Before that, and Suge had mentioned on the Source Awards, if you don't want a producer, you know, up in your video dancing or like that, come to Death Row. Everyone knew he was talking about Puffy, and then Puffy even came on Drink Champs and said that he wasn't talking about him. He said he was talking about Jermaine Dupri. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me because Jermaine is very tight with Snoop and that whole Death Row and everything. He rolled with them, whatever. So I know he was talking about Jermaine Dupri. So Puffy, he don't tell from a lot of his interviews. Puffy, he don't tell it straight sometimes, man. That's not my opinion. That's factual. You know, that's factual. You know, he doesn't tell it straight all the time. That's the only problem I have with Puffy, man. He seems a little into himself, and he's never gonna make himself look bad. But he was talking about Puffy and Jermaine Dupri said in Drink Champs, that's where the beef really started. And he also I'm gonna add one more story in that he said. He said the night when Big got shot in the truck, he was in that truck. Jermaine Dupri said they came out the club. He was standing outside, and Big was like, "Yo, Jermaine, get in the truck with me. This is L.A., man. You can't be standing out here." And so he said he got in the truck because his car didn't come around. He said he got in the truck, but then he looked around. His car came, so he got out the truck, got in his car, and then he said like maybe a minute, 2 minutes later, he heard the shots, pop, 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 pop. That's when Big got shot. He said he was in that car, man. It's like when I hear stories like that, it makes you think. It makes me like sometimes I'm not gonna say I doubt the higher entity and fate. You know, I don't know if it's a physical thing or what it's made of, or what form it takes. But I do believe in this world that things happen for a reason, man. And sometimes whatever it is, it determines that it's not your time. Sometimes like certain decisions you make could be bad for you, so something intervenes to keep that decision from going, you know, from to keep that event from happening. And him getting out that car and getting in there, that's it seems so small, but yet it's so impactful. He could have died at right then and there, Jermaine Dupri. And I'm not saying, and his legacy and everything afterwards would have been wiped out, really. It would have been changed. Hip hop would have been changed. His world would have been changed. I'm not just saying this. That could have been the only sad thing. Of course, losing a life, you know, and him dying, that's sad in itself. But you got to think how impactful Jermaine Dupri was from that time period, from that 96 time. Excuse me, yeah, like 97, 96 time from then till now, what he did, you know what I mean? Stuff with Bow Wow, you know, all his groups escaping, all that stuff, and what he did afterwards and everything, you know, stuff he did with Jay, you know what I mean? I would have been wiped out because he wouldn't have been on this earth, you know? So I do believe in a high entity intervening when it's necessary to. I guess some things just need to happen that he has to intervene in. You know, sometimes people, it's like some people, I hear people say, if there's a God, why does he let babies die, this, die? Because maybe it was, I hate to say, but it was meant to be for some reason. For whatever reason, maybe that was the course that it had to take. As sad and tragic as it is, you know, that's what I can think of, you know. But I just had to tell those stories because it related to Bad Boy and it relates to like the beef going on and how things was going on over here. You know, I admit there was a lot of resentment on the East Coast, especially New York, about West Coast because we just felt we was better than everyone else because it started here. We was like, yo, we started this, man. We should be ruling this. That's just, you know, that's like you know, say sports, you know what I mean? You know, that's like Colombian soccer, you know what I'm saying? Or like, you know, Jamaicans in soccer, you know, like they just rule, you know what I mean? They're that good, you know, this is their sport, you know what I'm saying? But I did Flavor in Your Ear, and I'm gonna come back with some more Bad Boy artists. I'm gonna do a whole Bad Boy barrage when I come back. And after that, I'm going to go into the other artists that was influential in that time when the West Coast gangster rap was going on and how we was competing. Like I said, there's a lot of 90s artists that brought it back to us. You know what I'm saying? I named a few. Mobb Deep was another team that came out there and held it down. Shook Ones, you know what I'm saying? Yo. So with that being said, thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel, The X Productions. I'm the Bizzone, aka the Unknown Producer, and you know what you got to do. You know what I'm about to tell you to do. I tell you this every time. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And leave them comments, son. Keep leaving them comments. I'm loving the conversations. I'm loving the love from everybody, son. And my goal is to get 1,000. 1,000, son. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I look at other reaction channels and I'm like, damn, they had 1,000. I wonder how long it took them to get there. And it's going up there. It's going up, and I appreciate the love, but I think it's on me. I just got to put my more grind in, and I'm gonna put more grind in. I'm gonna give you the best, and I need you to comment and tell me what I need to do to satisfy your needs to be here, if that makes sense to you. I want you to be here, subscribe, and be entertained, and also follow this chronological order of the 90s hip hop. And I just need the comments really to help me enforce that. All right. So it's one piece. We out, son.